It is that. It is that.
All right, guys, so this is going to be a fishing report style video here for Lake Raven, Huntsville State Park. Due to the wind, it's going to be mostly a voiceover. I'll cut into the audio a couple of times here on some big fish catches. Just, real quick, conditions were mid-April here, mid to late April. Water is 75-ish throughout the entire lake. I'm sure maybe way back in the creeks it was a little warmer than that. We had an overcast, so most of the fish are done spawning. You'll see that I do go up shallow and I do catch some spawning fish. That's because we just had a full moon maybe a couple days before this, and that's going to be the last push of fish spawning that, of any kind of severity. You may have, one or two that you'll find up shallow spawning in May, and that's not uncommon, but I wouldn't see it as like a viable pattern to go find fish that way. These first fish that I'm catching here were anywhere from 7 to 10 feet offshore, on a point, on some scattered grass. The grass is growing out to around 8-9 feet in most areas on the lake that I could tell so far. The grass is healthy this year. So we're just dragging a Carolina rig here. I'm dragging a Carolina rig Zoom trick worm. I fished a lot of dark colors throughout the day, aside from green pumpkin is more of a natural color. Still dark, but it's a natural color. We fished green pumpkin, black blue fleck, June bug, colors like that. But yeah, we're just dragging this Carolina rig on this point right here. I think I did this for quite a while to start the day off, and I started off midday. I didn't get out there first thing in the morning. And that's going to be something that, a lot of people are like, oh, first thing in the morning, you got to get out there super early if you want to catch them. It's not really the case. I found that I'm able to catch a lot of fish, even just, getting out there in the middle of the day, fishing through the afternoon, fishing through the parts of the day that are like the opposite of the way I was taught to fish growing up, the sunrise and the sunset bite. Obviously, those are going to be your best times to throw a topwater, but I still catch a lot of fish in the middle of the day as well. So still, all we did here was slide out a little farther on this point. And this is what I would say for you guys going to fish Huntsville State Park, Lake Raven. If you get out there early in the morning, I would for sure go up and fish shallow, throw topwater on the hydrilla edges that are visible and stuff like that. See if you can get bites that way. I'm sure you can. And then as the morning progresses, I would slide out to, slide off the bank a little bit and throw in the scattered grass and stuff like that that's out in that 7 to 9 foot range. Stop around the points, look for a lot of fish around the points in the scattered grass, again sticking out 7, 8, 9, 10 feet. Right here we caught a fish on a Texas rig, 7-inch worm. I threw a big worm. I didn't get any bites on it. I just downsized the worm, maybe a little early for that bite. 3/8 ounce weight. It's pegged. Lost a 3-pounder there. I was pretty upset about it. Still throwing the Texas rig worm here. Just hopping it up and down in some of those isolated grass patches out on that point where it's kind of scattered out. And here we go. We go up shallow. And I'm going to let it cut to the audio here.
Good God, look at that fish. Oh, dude, I had no clue this fish was this big. Holy crap. Look at that fish. That fish is up there still spawning. 608. 613. When I locked it, actually. Yeah, this boy. 613. Golly, man, look at that fish. Look at that fish. Giant.
All right, so yeah, that fish there went up shallow for the first time, went down the bank, seen a couple beds, there was nothing on them. Didn't even see that fish actually on the bed. Just threw up to the hole trying to keep my distance, because the farther along you get in the spawn, the more spooky these fish get when you're sight fishing. And when I set the hook, I felt like it was a good fish, but I had no clue the fish was 6'1". Here's another fish I sight fished, just a little male. Yeah, nothing special there. You see me throw him back here, and I tried to toss him all the way back into his bed. That's kind of why I flopped him across like that. Here we go, going shallow still. Went down this bank. There was all empty beds on this bank, not a fish on these, but there were like 2 or 3 beds at the base of this laydown right here. And I thought to myself, if there's a fish that recently spawned here, he'll slide out to the end. Sure enough, at the end of the laydown, where there were beds at the base of that laydown, that fish was post-spawn, just hanging out right there. All it had to do was slide 20 feet out to the end of that laydown to start recovering. You see this fish is beat up, sores, it's skinny. Should have been a 3-pound fish, probably was 1 3/4 pounds. Yeah, so we stayed on the shallow bite. If I was shallow, I would focus from here going forward, ends of the laydowns, things like that. Out in like 7 feet, out where we usually have our boat when we're going down the bank is more where I would be focused on throwing some plastics and stuff like that. Texas rig, shaky head, free rig, things like that. Dark color worms, again. Even a Carolina rig. Here we go, good fish here. Again, seeing a few beds back here, nothing in any of them, just throwing to each of them, kind of moving up on them, looking at them. And then threw to this one at a distance, had no idea there was a fish in it. And this fish was right at 4 pounds. And I was kind of laughing at the way that I landed that fish. We'll cut to the audio on this fish catch here as well.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Absolute giant. Absolute giant, dude. Holy crap. Stay down, girl. Stay down. Stay down. Oh. Golly, I hope this fish is as big as it looked out there flopping around. It is that. It is that. Okay, not as big as I thought. Not as big as I thought, but still a great big one. What a day today's been. Holy crap.
So this fish ended up being 5 pounds, and when it jumped way out there and couldn't even get itself all the way out of the water, I thought it was a freaking 10-pounder, man. I mean, I didn't think it was a 10, but I thought it was really, really big. But yeah, I mean, the end of this video here, I'm going to have about a 3-minute kind of report going over some of the things I've already went over in this video, but it feels appropriate to add in the recorded, section where I'm talking about, all the little details and things like that went into today. I have a bait in there that I haven't talked about yet that I think is going to be a killer coming up. So if you're interested in kind of the verbal on the water report that I did, here it is right here at the end of the video. Thank you guys for watching. Appreciate it. Please subscribe, like, and then of course, if you want all the dirty details, here they are.
All right, gonna shoot the boring part here. Had a great day of fishing. This is more the report side of it. Obviously, I'll have a good extended video with fish catches and stuff like that. We caught right under 20 pounds, and I really did it using 2 different lures that you don't need anything special for. Carolina rig was one right here, 1/2 ounce, 3/4 ounce weight, about a 3-foot leader, 17-pound line, long heavy rod. and then a Texas rig, 3/8 ounce weight. Got it pegged right there, straight shank, 4/0 hook. And the Texas rig was the only lure I caught a fish on shallow with. We had some shallow fish, deep fish, water 76, 75 degrees most everywhere I went. Shallow fish, surprisingly, I caught 3 fish on a bed. Did not expect that here in mid-April. I think that's going to taper off to pretty much nothing. You probably still find one here and there, but I wouldn't count on that. I caught one on a lay down. 2 fish I caught on a bed were big fish. I mean, an almost 4, and then one that was just over 6. One other lure I'd mention, because I lost a fish on it, and it's usually really good this time of year when these fish are kind of getting done spawning, is just a flashy swimmer hook with just a paddle tail there, green pumpkin paddle tail. I used a couple different plastics offshore. Pit Boss was one. Same thing that we used up. That's what we flipped up shallow, was Berkeley Pit Boss. Power worm, 7-inch power worm, black blue flick, and then Zoom trick worm. Also, just dark colors in general. But just think June bug and then darker. June bug all the way to black, and then obviously green pumpkin works all the time, no matter what. So, yeah, I mean that was really the deal. So I'm gonna add in some fish catches again. 76 degree water. Most of the fish have spawned. You're still gonna have some spawning. Look for fish coming out of areas from where they spawn. So the points on coves and pockets, points getting closer to the main lake, not really fishing so much all the way in the back. I mean, there's probably a decent bite back there on some fish that have stayed back there after they've spawned. 100%, especially if there's bluegill spawning back there. I didn't chase that bite today. That's why I suggested that one lure, though. That's what I would throw in that situation, besides obviously, flipping the cover that's back there. So anyways, hope you guys enjoy the rest of the video. A ton of fish catches on there. I probably started with a fish catch, probably started with, a snippet of that. So anyways, man, enjoy. I hope you guys come out here and get a chance to really get on them like I did today.